I'm reporting live for Primeur Magazine from ISC in Frankfurt, and we're here with Rob Lalone from Univa.
Hi there.
And can you please introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, hi there, Rob Lalone. I'm with Univa. I'm the General Manager and Vice President of the Navops product line for Univa, which is essentially our cloud solutions product line.
Yeah, before we start to talk about the technology, I heard you had some very big announcements about a big usage of your system.
Yeah, we've been in the process over the last few weeks of spinning up one of the largest single clusters in the cloud, probably the largest single cluster in the cloud, on top of Amazon EC2. So we spun up well over 1 million cores just this past weekend and ran a lot of EDA-style workloads on it and really proved some extreme scale with both our Grid Engine solution and our Navops cloud provisioning solution.
Mm. So what type of application is that?
The application that the cluster is targeted at is an EDA-style HPC application.
Okay,
and what we spun it up with was our Navops Launch product, which is a provisioning solution and cloud adapter solution that essentially allows you to build either dedicated clusters. This was a dedicated 1 million core cluster in this case, but you can also do hybrid clouds, HPC hybrid clouds, where you're extending your on-premise cluster to the cloud, and we do a lot of that with our customers and using Navops Launch.
1 million cores? 1 million cores?
1 million cores. It's about 55,000 servers or so, give or take.
And how long does
instances
it take?
Instances, I should say.
Yeah. How long does it take to
2.5 hours, surprisingly fast. Can you imagine building a 1 million core cluster on premise? How long that would take? So, yeah, we can spin it up with using spot fleets, which is a somewhat new technology from Amazon, extending their fleet capability and their spot capability to do very, very large deployments. So we took that to the limit and pretty much swamped one of their availability zones this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Are there other important clusters or important customers that you had recently?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff in the cloud right now. So we've announced over the last month or two a couple of case studies where we're doing hybrid cloud. One is with Mellanox Technologies out of Israel, and that's a large hybrid cluster that we do cloud bursting to the Azure cloud with our Navops Launch product. And the other one is Wharton School of Business, where we're also doing cloud bursting, and in that case it's to the Amazon cloud. So we support all the major cloud providers, and yeah, we've got a lot of cool use cases lately that we've been announcing.
One of the nice things is that you also do what you say, hybrid stuff like cloud bursting and things like that.
Yeah, we just did a recent study, and I think about 60% of our customers right now are in the process, or at least of the customers we surveyed are in the process of going to cloud or planning their cloud process. And of those, 70% are going to do hybrid rather than dedicated. So there's just a lot of interest in dedicated as hybrid. There's a lot of investment already in that on-premise infrastructure. So they don't want to throw that away and just switch to cloud. They want to burst that and take the peaks off those clusters when they don't have enough resources available on-premise. They'll burst to the cloud. Or maybe they want specialized resources like GPUs or really big memory machines or things like that. Then they can just go to the cloud when they need those and just use those for a short time and shut them down. So Navops Launch has the ability to grow and shrink the cluster based on policy. So if people need specialized workloads, they can use those, shut them down when they don't need them, and therefore save themselves a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Is it mainly for firing up virtual machines, or are you also doing how's it called?
Bare metal?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do support bare metal. We support OpenStack and bare metal clusters. So if that's of interest, that's something we can do. Right now, we're seeing mostly interest in public cloud, but we have some customers that are doing OpenStack based. We've got a lot of noise in the background. Yeah. But yeah, that'll pass in a second. But yeah, we see interest mostly in public cloud, but we do see people doing on-premise stuff as well, private cloud.
Okay. Can you tell a little bit more about the new technology?
Yeah, I think we've been in the Grid Engine business doing workload management for quite some time, and we've moved that technology along pretty rapidly. We've done a lot of modernization around that technology, so we're seeing a lot of container usage, both Docker and Singularity, within our customer base. So we're seeing a lot of advances around that, and we're certainly a leader in container capabilities. We've done a lot of work with GPUs with our solution, and a lot of our customers are, at least almost all of them are doing some NVIDIA computing in some part of their cluster, right, for machine learning or AI type applications. So we're seeing a lot of activity around that. And then there's our Navops Launch product for doing the cloud bursting, and like I said, all of our customers right now seem to be talking about cloud and heading in that direction, or even investing in that. So we're keeping ourselves really busy with that technology. We've announced support for new public cloud providers, so we support Oracle now. We've supported Amazon, Microsoft, and Google for a long time. So we support all the major cloud providers. We've been adding new policy capabilities to that, so we can do things like help manage the data, or at least interact with the data management, third-party data management providers, so that the data gets into the cloud before the workload arrives to run, and that's really important, how you synchronize that data. So there's lots of really interesting capabilities. I think we're really at the forefront with what we're doing with our Navops launch product.
You mentioned containers. Is that something that's now taking off, or?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a few years ago, people were just talking about it. You know, it seems like everybody's doing it now in some form. You know, they haven't moved all their workload to containers because, you know, that takes quite an effort. But either because they want that portability, maybe they're moving it to the cloud, maybe they just want to guarantee that what's in the container is going to run the same way every time, get rid of software dependencies, those types of things. Lots of reasons why people are doing containers, but yeah, it's becoming very popular, and I think it's moving kind of in concert with that growth, that migration to the cloud that you're seeing. There's a lot of parallels between that and containers because they work well together.
Thank you very much for this interview.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
This was Ad Emmen reporting live for Prima Magazine from Frankfurt.